is kind of what's possible for us and what's possible for, the impact we can make, the money we can make, the lifestyle we can enjoy. So my goal for you today is to show you how to take your coaching business and scale it. Now, scale is kind of a pretty digital, left brain sort of a word, but what I really mean is to give you more of the three things that we want as a coach. I think we want more money, we want more meaning, and we want more freedom. Money, meaning, freedom. I think this is the sweet spot. Money is about the income you can make as a coach, and Manish mentioned some big numbers. I'm lucky enough to coach, 300 or 400 clients right now. About a third of them make more than $1 million a year. The thing that we specialize in is helping coaches launch and grow to the $1 million mark. And then we have a private mastermind for those guys where we help them get to $10 million per year. But I think the money is kind of exciting. The second piece, so this is really, to put it another way, this is about the income you can make. Meaning is about the impact we can have. And I think, frankly, there's nothing better than getting up in the morning and knowing that the work we do helps people with their businesses, with their lives. We do work that matters. It's pretty exciting. And then third, freedom, which is about independence. So money, meaning, freedom's the goal. To do this, by the way, if I asked you a question, I'd love it if you could type it into the discussion. If you had to choose between money and meaning and freedom as the thing that's kind of most important for you in the next 90 days or so, is it more money? Is it more freedom? Is it more meaning? Can you type into the chat? I'd love to have a look in the discussion.
Taki, while people are typing in, just to let you know, the screen is coming inverted for us.
Oh, it's coming backwards?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny, because at my end I had to flip it backwards to be right for me. So let me flip it back. Give me 1 minute. Yes. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for telling me. That's really good to know. This is my first time using this piece of software. If I click that, is that better for you guys?
Perfect.
Okay, now it's backwards for me, but I know what it says anyway, so hopefully it's right for you. Is this team? Let's start fresh. We want a coaching business that can scale. When I scale, what I mean is we want more money and more meaning and more freedom. Thank you so much, everyone in the chat, for letting me know. Much better to not have to listen to fast Australian English and read words backwards. So I'm really glad. So Rahul says meaning. Ayushi says the same. Lots of meaning, some monies. I love this. Craig thought Taki was able to write backwards. I'm not. It's camera tricks. Okay, so if we want more money and more meaning and more freedom, there are three parts of our coaching business that we want to work on together today. And I just want to let you know that today's session is going to be not about coaching skills. It's going to be about the business of coaching. Specifically, how do you take these kind of coaching skills that you're learning here or developing or that you've got as a coach, and how do we use them so we can help more people, we can have more fun, and we can make more money? So the three key parts of our coaching business are these. Up the top, we've got attract. And attract is marketing. It's how do we generate leads? How do we get prospects into our pipeline, and how do we get them ready so that on a scale from 1 to 10, in terms of how likely they are to kind of say yes and become a client, we warm them up until they're an 8 or a 9 or a 10 out of 10, so that when you get them on the phone, or when you meet them face to face, or you meet them on Zoom, that they're ready to buy. So that's the attract piece. Think kind of marketing. The second piece is convert. And convert is the sales piece. It's how we convert a prospect from curious to committed. From someone who's kind of checking you out to someone who says, yes, I'm in, this sounds great, no matter the price. And the third thing that we want to do, we've got attract, which is marketing, we've got convert, which is sales, and then we have deliver. If this is making sense so far, can you type yep or yes or yes in your native Indian languages? I'd love to learn. Teach me. We've got lots of yeses. Okay, this is great. All in English right now, and a yep. Okay, cool. So these are the three big pieces. And I just wanted to say that I've been working with coaches for Jihan. Okay, I don't know if I pronounced that right, but hopefully I did. Everyone comes into the coaching business wanting to be successful, wanting to make a big difference and make great money and enjoy a lot of freedom. The truth is that most coaches don't do as well as they'd hoped. And I think that the reason is because the way we're taught to market and the way we're taught to sell and the way we're taught to coach set us up for a business that is good to a point, and then we kind of hit a ceiling, we hit a lid. And so if you think about how we're taught to market, most of us on the attract side of things, we're taught to do manual prospecting. We're kind of reaching out to people one by one, or cold calling, or networking is okay, but I think there's kind of it's 2021. There's better options, and it's manual. The way we're taught to convert prospects into clients is one at a time. And the way we're taught to deliver our coaching is in one-on-one sessions with clients, and it's time for money. And if you think about what each of these three things have in common, your manual marketing and selling one at a time and delivering time for money, what they've all got in common is that they use your time and they use your energy, and they're not unlimited. You've got a certain amount of time and a certain amount of energy. And so I think because that's the way we're all taught, we chase prospects manually, we sell them one-on-one, and then we deliver one-on-one kind of time for money coaching. There's a limit to how much time we've got. And eventually we hit a ceiling, whether the ceiling is, I'm going to talk in US dollars to make it easy, whether it's $5,000 a month or it's $10,000 a month or it's $20,000 or $30,000 a month. And all of those numbers are amazing, except that if you get to a $10,000 a month business or a $30,000 a month business, you're missing out on what's really possible, which is, $1 million a year and sometimes more. And so if you don't have a system for attracting the leads you want, you end up with no audience. Best kept secret, not much fun. If you don't have a system for converting prospects into clients, you end up with no sales. And if you don't have a system for delivering to groups of people all at once, then you have no leverage. In other words, there comes a time when you run out of time, you run out of energy, and you just can't fit more clients in. Is this making sense so far, guys? I know that we've only just met and I can't see your faces. If this is making sense, I can see some thumbs ups. You can either type in a yes or a thumbs up or a something. That's great. Okay, thank you. So what I would love to do, if it's okay with you today, is just give you an overview of how our coaches attract and convert and deliver so they can get themselves to $1 million a year and beyond. So let's do this. If you had to choose between attract and convert and deliver, which one of these three are you most interested or curious about in our session today? Attract or convert or deliver? Deliver, convert. Okay, this is really interesting. Attract and convert. Attract. All three. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Let's tackle all three, but let's do them in the right order. I want to start with deliver. And the reason we're going to start with deliver is because if you market and sell a program that isn't ready for scale, then you're going to end up capped pretty quickly. So there's three things that we do when it comes to the delivery side of your coaching business. And this is the way we do it. There's plenty of ways. This has worked really well for me and really well for a bunch of our clients. And so if you're doing one-on-one coaching right now, please don't think that I'm saying one-on-one coaching is bad. One-on-one coaching is an amazing place to get started that allows you to learn your skills, grow your confidence. But once you've got your skills and you've got your confidence, I really think that going to a group model is going to be better for you and better for the clients if you do it right. Okay, so let's talk. There's three things we're going to do delivery-wise. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to have a look at your business model. We call this Decide model. We're going to have a look at your niche, your programs, and your price points, the way you deliver your stuff, and go, can we scale this thing to $1 million a year? And if the answer is no, then we'll probably do some changes. So if you're coaching already, I want you to answer this question. If you're not coaching yet, imagine you've got 10 clients, right? If the magic marketing fairies flew over your business tonight and they sprinkled growth dust, tomorrow morning you wake up and there's 10 times more clients tomorrow morning than you had today, is everything okay or does everything break? what would break first? If you would be completely fine, then we've got a model that we can scale because we know that we can grow the delivery. We can scale up, attract, and convert, knowing that the deliverer is going to handle it. If everything would break, that's going to be a real problem. We need to tweak that stuff. And if it'll be pretty good, but maybe we'd need to hire a couple of team members, then that's a sign that we've got a bit of work to do. And so the way I would do this, if you're a current coach, I would just think about this like a set of traffic lights. And for each one of these, as we go around, just give yourself a quick score. Are we green? Like, is this a strength? Are we fine here? Do we need to do no more work? Are we yellow? Like, okay, I could do a little, I could make some tweaks. Or is this a red area that really we need to focus on? Okay, so you're going to give yourself a green or a yellow or, in this example, a red right there. The second thing we're going to do, once we've had a look at your business model, and by the way, I'm just going to give you the framework, and then we're going to go into Q&A workshop together, and I'll teach you 2 or 3 of these tricks. Once we've got a business model that we know we can scale, and we've got a niche that we love and that will happily pay, the second thing we want to do is unpack your IP, your intellectual property. In other words, what's your system for getting clients from point A to point B, from mission to mission accomplished? And so if you're coaching one-on-one, it's kind of nice because you can just show up and say, hey, so what's going on right now? What do you need help with? And then you can just kind of reach into your toolkit and help them out with stuff. One-on-one is much easier like that. If you're going to coach a group, you can't just show up every time and say, hey, so what do you want to talk about today? You need to lead. Does that make sense? You need to lead. If that's making sense so far, can you type the word lead into the discuss? So if we're going to lead them, we need a plan. We need to go, if this is where you are right now, if this is where you are right now and this is where we want to get to, this is my roadmap, my step-by-step plan for getting people like you to results like these. Thank you so much for the chat. I really appreciate it. I don't know if it was because I wasn't loved enough as a kid, but I really, really like audience participation. So thank you. It helps me know that you're picking up what I'm putting down. So we need to unpack your intellectual property, your system for taking people from mission to mission accomplished. What are the key pieces? Just like I'm doing here with this model right here. This is kind of a high-level overview of our system for getting coaches to $1 million a year. The third piece, when it comes to kind of a group-style coaching model, is what we call leverage your coaching. And this is really about the people, the team in your business. That's meant to be a little person, and the systems in your business. Remember earlier we talked how the old style of coaching is manual prospecting and one-on-one sales and time for money coaching, and that's built around your time and your effort. Well, the new style isn't built around time or effort. It's really built around 2 things. It's built around systems and intellectual property, content. And so the way we market is with content. The way we sell is with content, webinars or trainings like this. And the way we deliver is kind of more training, facilitating, coaching. So what we've got so far is we've got an overview of how we're going to deliver this thing. We're going to decide a model, make sure that it can scale. We're going to unpack our content and design a roadmap for clients. And third, we're going to use some people and some systems to help us deliver this thing really well. So that's the deliver side of your coaching business. Let's switch gears and talk about marketing, attract. There are 3 things we need to do. The very first is we need a system for filling your funnel. In other words, for getting new people into your world, whether they are joining a Facebook group or they're signing up for your email list or they're listening to your podcast. We just need a way to get new people into your world. A lot of coaches spend too much time on self-promotion, trying to get their name out there. I don't want you to get your name out there. I want you to get their name in here. And so what we have is some simple strategies for organic, and we'll talk about these in a minute. In other words, we can do paid ads or we can do organic. Are the 2 easiest ways. And I don't know if you're already up and running as a business coach or as a coach yet, and if you're running ads or if you're not. But if you are, we run a simple campaign where we get 100 leads for about $2 to $5 US per person. I don't know what the Indian equivalent is, but we typically charging between $5,000 and $50,000 for our coaching programs. And so you can spend a little bit of money and make quite a lot of money back out, if that makes sense. So first up, we're going to fill our funnel, get new people in. The second piece is to warm up your prospects. You know, when you get these people into your world, some of them are ready to buy right now. Some of them will take a little bit of warming up, and some of them are never going to buy from anybody. And so what we need is some systems in place to nurture and look after the people in your database, just like a farmer might water his or her orchard. You know, so this is about regular content, a rhythm to give, and a rhythm to ask. Okay, so it's basically going to be everything you ever share is going to be very generous. We give in public, and then we ask in private, and then all of the sales conversations happen offline, away from the public eye, so your reputation is really, really squeaky clean. Is this making sense? The third piece of our marketing engine, our attract piece here, is to build authority. And this is just about, you know, in your chosen sphere, in your niche, are you completely unknown, or are you kind of the king of the pile, king of the heap, kind of a big deal. And so what we want to do is we want some systems for generating leads, we want systems for warming up the leads, and we want some systems for just making sure that in terms of positioning ourselves, we're positioned as the go-to expert in our space. Third, and by the way, Craig Brewster, if you're around, I'd love you to drop in a couple of minutes time just to kind of help me debrief, and kind of Craig or Manish, I'd love you to pop in maybe 2 minutes. I'll tell you when, just so we can have a quick chat about this and figure out where to go from here. I can go deeper and teach some specific pieces, or we can Q&A. I'm just not sure about time. So let's talk about convert. Most of our coaches, like I said, at the low end are selling a $3,000 to $5,000 program, and at the high end, $30,000 to $50,000 US for a 12-month engagement, group delivery, and they sell their stuff in three main ways. The first way is with one-on-one sales calls. We call that auditioning clients, because we treat the sales process like an audition where you're they're the one with the problem, you're the one with the potential solution, and you're assessing, are they a good fit or are they not a good fit? Our second piece is we sell by chat using, at least in Australia, we use Facebook Messenger, we use SMS, we use Instagram DMs, we use email. A lot of people use WhatsApp, whatever the chat app in your area is, and LinkedIn messages as well. And the third way that our guys sell their stuff, guys and girls sell their stuff, is by rocking events. An event could be anything from something that happens live in a room, or something that happens on Zoom, or on Floor. This is my first time using Floor. So that there's a one-to-many sales process where you can teach some stuff, you can invite people to book in a call or to buy from you. So I just wanted to give you a quick overview, and what I'd love you to do, please, if you're still with me right now and understanding my crazy Australian accent, can you please type into the chat what's been most helpful so far, one thing you've learned or one thing you've loved. I just want to make sure that this is landing. And while you type into the chat, please, Manish or Craig, if one of you guys could jump in, or both, let's do a quick debrief, and then we'll figure out where to go from here time-wise.
Yeah, I'm right here, Taki.
Hey, my friend. Thank you.
Time-wise, we have 15 minutes.
Perfect. That's amazing. Super great. So what I would love to do, if it's okay, Manish, and I just want to get your thoughts, is I'd like to pick 2 or 3 of these areas and just give some tactical, practical tools. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much for jumping in. I really appreciate it. Okay, if it's okay with you guys, here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to talk a tiny bit about how to get the leads. Number two, I would love to spend a little bit of time focused on niche and business model, and give you a couple of options to consider as you kind of get out into this coaching career. And then I don't know if we'll have time, but if we do, I'd like to talk about how to qualify prospects quickly, so you know you're talking to the right people. Indrani says, is authority thought leadership? It's thought leadership, but there's a lot of really smart people who don't share their thought leadership. So thought leadership and content-based marketing is kind of the vehicle, but we want to do it in a way that your message gets out there and you get famous for a thing. So 100% you need to have thought leadership, and then it's about how do we share it so that it has the biggest impact. Thanks for asking a great question. Okay, so why don't we do this? why don't we talk a little bit about business models? And no worries, Indrani. Thanks for calling me mate. I appreciate that. It makes me feel very, very at home. I haven't been to India since I was 16. We were in Vellore down south and went to an amazing wedding in Nagpur. And I got to eat biryani from a banana leaf from my hands and idli for breakfast. It was so good. I haven't been to India since I was 16 years old. That was like 30 years ago. So here's what we're going to do. Let's talk about business models. If you've got paper and you can follow along, let's do that. I want you to think about the three main service offerings that that people like us, people like you and me offer. So we'll go 3 columns, 3 options, and our 3 main options, I would say, are we could do one-on-one coaching, option number 1. Number 2, we could sell courses. And number 3, we could build a group coaching program, whether it's a short program, 6 to 10 weeks, or it's a longer program over a year or 2 or 3. I think these are our kind of big picture, the 3 big options. So how do we choose between? Well, the way we choose between is by thinking about what we really want. Like, what would the perfect coaching business model look like? And I think if it was for me, I would probably wish for 3 things. I would say I would love a coaching model that can help me charge high prices and make great money. Number 2, I want a coaching model that gets clients incredible results. And number 3, I'd want a coaching model that lets me scale. So not only can I charge a high price per client, but I can also grow this thing without it being dependent on my time and energy. So let's just look at these one by one. So first up, we've got one-on-one coaching. Can you charge a premium for one-on-one coaching? Yeah, you totally can. Can you get incredible results for your clients doing one-on-one coaching? 100% you can. Can you scale one-on-one coaching? Not easily, is the short answer. Number 2, courses. Can you charge? Can you make great money from courses? Yeah, you can. Most courses are low price, but you totally can. Do clients get great results from courses? No, they don't. Worldwide, I don't know what the stats are like in India, but worldwide, the average completion rate for a course, not the get results rate, but finished the course, actually went through the material. The average completion rate for a course is 3%. 3%. That's not even the implemented it. That's just watched the videos. So if only 3% watch the videos, then less than 3% implement the stuff, which means less than that again actually get results. So I don't know about you, but I feel kind of disgusted about that. I'm going to say no. Can you scale a course? Yeah, you can scale a course to the moon. So if it's just the money, courses are a pretty viable option. Which leads us to option number 3, doesn't it? This idea of a coaching program. And so, what is a coaching program? It's kind of a course with some coaching, is really what it is. A course with some coaching, whether the coaching is done one-on-one. I think strategy work is often best done one-on-one. But if it's just about implementing the stuff, then groups are significantly better than one-on-one. Here's an interesting thing. A lot of people switch to group coaching because they hit a ceiling and they know that they can't grow unless they move to a group. So most people choose group coaching because it's better for them, for the coach. The truth is, though, group coaching, if you do it the way we do it, group coaching can be significantly better for your clients than one-on-one coaching ever was. If you think about all of the best athletes in the world, even athletes who are in individual sports like tennis players or horse riders or sprinters, all of those people, even though they compete individually, they train in a squad. Why do they train in the squad? Well, they train in the squad because when you're competing against you've got a community that is both high support and high performance, everybody's game lifts because they can lift you when you're down, and you want to kind of compete with each other, and you can share the lessons as we go. So in my experience, group coaching is better for the client than one-on-one coaching is as well as being better for you. So let's have a look. If you sell a group coaching program, can you make great money? Yes. 100% you can. I've already told you a little bit about price points. Can you get clients great results? Yes. Given what we just said, 100%. You can get clients even better results in a group than you can one-on-one. And can you scale it? 100% you can. So all of this is to say, in my personal opinion, I think a group coaching program is the best business model for you and the best business model for your clients. And so if we come back here for a second, how do we build a coaching business that gives you more money and more meaning and more freedom? The answer, in my opinion, is the way to scale is we pick a model that is group delivery at a premium price that isn't capped at I can only work with 10 clients at a time. Is this making sense, guys? I think it is. I hope it is. Yeah, lots of thumbs up. Thanks for the thumbs. That really helps. Okay, so when we design a group coaching program, there are there's lots of different ways, but big picture, there's really two ways to do it. Way number one is you sell a short-term specific result program. Like it's basically how to go from A to B, from mission to mission accomplished in 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks. Typical price points at $3,000 to $5,000 US. And I just wanted to say, I don't know what your experience is in coaching right now. I was just chatting in the backstage room, the green room, I think it's called, with Manish, and 2 or 3 of our clients are friends, and they're in India, and they are charging premium prices and coaching Indians. So I want to let you know that yes, this works everywhere in the world. I haven't found a country that doesn't work in yet. If you find one, tell me. So this is a what I would call a short-term program, and then there's longer term. And a longer term program is, if you think about the results that your clients get over time, almost nobody goes from like 0 to hero instantly. It's always on a curve. And so a lot of our programs are designed to get people some quick wins in the first 30, 60, 90 days, and then a larger transformation over 12 months or more. Hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea. So you can sell a short, you can sell a long, and that's kind of 2 options there. I want to be as helpful as I possibly can. So I was thinking perhaps we could talk a little bit about qualifying prospects. Have you ever been in a sales situation where you've put aside, I don't know, maybe an hour to work with someone on their stuff, as a potential client? You put aside an hour, and 5 minutes in, kindly show the table once again. Jaydev, I'd love to. This one here. You can take a screenshot if it's helpful. I've had plenty of times where I've spent an hour with a prospect, or I've committed to an hour with a prospect, even though, after 3 or 4 minutes, I knew that it was a waste of time and it was not a good fit. And so one of the things that's been really helpful for me and for almost all of our clients is a little process that we call the triage call. And let me kind of show you where it fits. Let's say somewhere over here, a prospect raises their hand and says they're kind of interested in working with you. Traditional coaching takes them to a sales call. Obviously, you don't call it a sales call. Some kind of sales call, and attempts to convert somebody in 60 minutes from cold to sold. Sounds really good in theory. It works sometimes. But what we did was we added one little step in here. It's a 10-minute call done over the phone or on Zoom, a 10-minute phone call that took our sales call conversion rate from 50% to 84% by adding a 10-minute call. And so what I'm going to suggest is, when you're selling a coaching, don't go for the one call close. We're going to do this in 2 steps, and I'll explain the first step in a moment. And sometimes people say, well, that it's 2 calls, now it's twice as much work. It's not twice as much work, because in 10 minutes you can quickly do 2 things. Number 1, you can build trust quickly, and number 2, you can qualify buyers better. There's a great sales trainer called Bill Brooks who said that the best salespeople in the world have 2 skills, 2 abilities that set them apart from everybody else. 2 skills. The first skill is the ability to build trust faster. And the second skill is the ability to qualify buyers better. And so what I love about this little 10-minute call is that in 10 minutes, we can build trust quickly and we can qualify in or out. And so if somebody's not a fit, you've only spent 10 minutes, you haven't wasted an hour. And all of a sudden, all of the prospects who came into your world who weren't a good fit, yeah, they get 10 minutes with you or with somebody, but you only spend quality time with quality prospects. Does that make sense? So we call this the triage call, and it's how we qualify people in or out. And I'm just going to give you the first 30 or 40 seconds of the triage call so you've got a bit of a sense about how it works. Let's just pretend that you are a potential client of mine. Again, let's pretend I don't have anything for sale here. If you want to get a copy of my book, you can go to takisbook.com and download one for free, but there's nothing for you to buy here. So let's pretend that you're a potential coaching client of mine and that we've got a call scheduled in for right now. And at the appointed time, I call your phone and it rings twice and you answer it and say, hello. And I say, I just want you to listen to the first 30 seconds and then into the discussion. Tell me what you heard. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you noticed. Okay. So I'd say, you'd say, hello, this is your name. And I'd say, hey there, it's Taki Moore here calling from Noosa. I am in Noosa. I had to figure out where I am. I'm in Noosa right now. Taki calling from Noosa in Australia. How are you going? And you'd say, I'm going great. Perfect. I've got a little note in my calendar that we've got a 10-minute call right now. Is that right? You'd say, yes. Perfect. Thanks so much for being on time. I really appreciate it. So my job today is really simple. I'm going to ask you a few questions to work out if or how I can help. If I feel like I can't help, I'll let you know politely and I'll point you in the right direction of someone who might be a better fit. And if I feel like I can help, we'll book in another time to talk about how and make a plan. Is that okay? Yep. Okay. Like I said, we've only got 10 minutes, so I need to keep to time. I've got someone straight after you. So I'm going to ask you simple, clear, direct questions. And if you can give me simple, clear, direct answers, that'd be great. Is that okay? Perfect. Let's get started. And role play. What'd you hear? What'd you notice? What did you pick up that might make that sales process successful? I know it's tricky to type while we're kind of live, but if you could, I'd be grateful. I set expectations. Yes. It was crisp, 100%. From just listening to that script, was it clear who was the boss? I was the boss, right? Yeah. I set the rules of the game, 100%. I was the boss. It was clear that I'm the one who's going to ask the questions. You're the one who's going to answer the questions. It was also really clear by the time we were 30 seconds in, you'd already answered 3 questions. And so I'd asked and you'd answered, yes, yes, yes. Perfect. There was authority. It was also really clear that we both knew that you were the one with the problem. I was the one with the potential solution. And I was the one who was going to decide if we were going to go to a second call or not. Cool? So I just wanted to pause. I can hear someone's lines just come off mute, whether it's Manish or Craig or somebody.
Unfortunately, we're a little short on time and we've got a panel.
No problems at all.
Yeah, we've got 5 lovely ladies waiting. We have a panel discussion coming up next. So I think we can do the questions offline. Thank you very much. More, I think everybody's really enjoyed your session. So thank you for taking time out joining us here. Thank you, Mr. Jain.
So just before you go, Taki, maybe you could drop in an email address where people could connect with you later.
The easiest thing to do, if you go to takisbook.com, you'll be able to download my book and then reply to any of the emails and we read every single one. So takisbook.com. Cool. I just popped that into the chat for everyone.
Perfect.
That's fine. Manish, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry to go over time. It's been great hanging out.
No problem. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, you will be automatically directed to the next session. I will see you there. Signing off for now. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Pooja. Thanks, Taki.
I guess you can call me this sort of